Welcome to Binary Lessons. In this video, in this session, I'm going to explain about the topic ultrasonics. What is an ultrasonic? That means the concept of the ultrasonics, characteristics of ultrasonics, and the applications of ultrasonics. So the main content in this video is about the ultrasonics and how this can, where we can use this applications of ultrasonics. We will discuss. I will explain in this session. Right? What is ultrasonics? You might have listened, heard this word many times, ultrasonics. See, what are ultrasonics? These are basically a sound. Ultrasonic is a sound which is not audible. Right? Already we know that there is a audible range from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. A human can hear the frequency ranges from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, and this is called audio frequency range. This frequency range signals can be audible by the humans, right? This is audible frequency range. Here, ultrasonics is also basically a sound. It is a sound which is not audible. That means that frequency signals cannot be audible. The term ultrasonics is used in acoustics. Generally, it is used in acoustics. Frequencies are beyond the range of human hearing. As already I said that these are not audible. Not audible. That means frequencies are beyond the range of human hearing. What are the characteristics of ultrasonics? What are the characteristics means? See, these are sound waves. Ultrasonics are the sound waves of frequencies above 20 kilohertz. Up to 20 kilohertz, it is a audible frequency range. The above 20 kilohertz frequency is not audible, and those that are sound waves of frequencies above 20 kilohertz. Ultrasonics are the sound waves of frequencies above 20 kilohertz. And the important source of energy, it has important sources of energy with wide range of applications. This sound waves have a wide range of applications. Modern methods enable us to produce ultrasonics with frequencies of about 5 to 10 power 5 Hz. That means 100 kilohertz. That means this ultrasonics is a sound waves of frequency range beyond 20 kilohertz. So here with the present technology, the available modern methods, these ultrasonic signals can be produced, signals can be produced with a frequency of about 500 kilohertz. 500 kilohertz. The wavelength of ultrasonics in air, the wavelength of this ultrasonics is ranges from 1.6 to 6 into 10 power minus 5 centimeters. That is the wavelength of the signal range in the air. Wavelength of ultrasonics in liquids. In liquids, the range of wavelength in the ultrasonics 6 to 2.4 into 10 power minus 4 centimeters. In air, it is from 5 to 1.6 to 6 into 10 power minus 5 centimeters, that is in the air. Whereas in liquids, the range of it is, the wavelength of ultrasonics is from 6 to 2.4 into 10 power minus 4 centimeters. And the wavelength of ultrasonics in solids, the wavelength is ranges from 20 to 8 into 10 power minus 4 centimeters. Ultrasonics will have wavelength of the same order as visible light. Ultrasonic waves are not electromagnetic waves in nature. Generally, these are not electromagnetic waves. The electrical energy is converted into the ultrasonic vibrations by means of transducers. So here, this electrical energy is converted into the ultrasonic vibrations by using a transducers. That means now we know that what is a transducer means. Transducer converts one form of energy into the another form of energy. So here the transducers are used to convert the electrical energy into the ultrasonic energy. How this ultrasonic waves can be generated? Generation of ultrasonic waves. There are numerous ways to produce ultrasonic waves, and depending on the required application and wavelength. Based on the requirement, these ultrasonic waves can be produced in different ways. See, this is a basic block diagram of generation of ultrasonic vibrations. The basic element here is transducer. The excitation energy. The input for this transducer is excitation energy. It may be either electrical energy or whatever available energy. That is convert. The output of this transducer is ultrasonic vibrations. That means this transducer is converting. Just now we discussed that this electrical energy is converted into the ultrasonic energy by using a transducer. So based on the application and the wavelength, the required wavelength, there will be, now we can use the different transducers. Types of generation of ultrasonics. There are mainly of two types depending upon the excitation energy. The ultrasonic waves can be generated in two types depending on the excitation energy. That means available input source. Types of generation of ultrasonic waves. See, there are two types of generation. It is depending on the excitation energy. Depending upon the excitation energy, the ultrasonic waves can be generated in two types: mechanical generators and the electrical generators. Based on the available source, it is two types: electrical generators and mechanical generators. The mechanical ultrasonic generators, and this includes tuning fork, Galton whistle, gas current generator, Boltzmann's generators. These are the it consists mechanical ultrasonic generators includes tuning fork, Galton whistle, gas current generator, and Boltzmann's generator. Whereas this tuning fork generates ultrasonics of up to about 91 kilohertz. 91 kilohertz. The frequency of this tuning fork generator is of 91 kilohertz. Ultrasonics generated using tuning forks are strongly damped and not useful for practical applications. The frequency range of this tuning fork generators is 91 kilohertz, but these are not useful for practical applications. Because these are strongly damped and not useful for practical applications. The frequency range of Galton whistle generators is up to 100 kilohertz. This Galton whistle will have constant amplitude and frequency. The frequency range of Galton whistle is of 100 kilohertz, and the signal amplitude and frequency are constant. And the next one, third one in the mechanical ultrasonic generators is gas current generator. It produces the ultrasonic waves of above 60 kilohertz in air. Above the 60 kilohertz in air. This gas current generator is a type of mechanical ultrasonic generator. It produces the sound waves of ultrasonic waves of 60 kilohertz in air. It is useful for producing large power to 50 watts. This is used for large power of up to 50 watts. And the next one, Boltzmann's generator produces ultrasonic of about 33 kilohertz. Other type of ultrasonic wave generators is electrical wave generators. It is of two types: piezoelectric generator and magnetostriction generator. Piezoelectric and magnetostriction generator. This piezoelectric ultrasonic wave generator produces ultrasonic waves using piezoelectric effect. This generator piezoelectric generator it is also used for the ultrasonic wave generation. So it is based on the piezoelectric effect. We use the principle of piezoelectric effect. And what is piezoelectric effect? We know that certain substances, when subjected to mechanical stress, produces a potential difference across them. It is called piezoelectric effect. Generally, these piezoelectric crystals, whenever the electric field is applied, the shape of its changes by with the change of molecules, as well as this certain and if these piezoelectric crystals, whenever these are subjected to stress, under the stress, this produces a charge. That means there will be a potential difference across them. That is called piezoelectric effect. Substances used for piezoelectric effect, that is already we know that commonly used piezoelectric transducers are from quartz, Rochelle salt, ammonium dihydrogen phosphate, and barium titanate. These are the piezoelectric crystalline materials generally used. This piezoelectric ultrasonic generator produces the ultrasonic waves of frequency range from 20 kHz to 50 kHz. The range of piezoelectric transducers to produce this ultrasonic frequency ranges is from 20 kHz to 50 kHz. This piezoelectric effect is linear. The next is magnetostriction generator produces ultrasonic waves using the technique called magnetostriction effect. This piezoelectric ultrasonic generators produces the ultrasonic waves using the piezoelectric effect, whereas magnetostriction generator produces the ultrasonic waves using the magnetostriction effect. See, what is magnetostriction effect? The magnetic materials, when the magnetic materials when subjected to magnetization, whenever the magnetic materials are subjected to magnetization, undergo change in their dimensions is called magnetostriction effect. That means whenever this magnetic materials are subjected to magnetization, that means they changes their dimensions. The change of dimensions when the magnetic materials are under magnetization, subjected to magnetization, is called magnetostriction effect. What is piezoelectric effect? When the substances are subjected to mechanical stress, they produces a potential difference. That is called piezoelectric effect. Here, what is magnetostriction effect? When these magnetic materials are subjected to magnetization, they changes their dimensions. That is called magnetostriction effect. Right. Substances used in magnetostriction effect are all ferromagnetic materials and all ferromagnetic materials. Generally, the nickel. All the ferromagnetic materials can be used for magnetostriction effect. So normally, most of the cases it is nickel. Magnetostriction generators produces ultrasonic wave of frequencies from 20.4 kHz to 60 kHz. 60 kHz. The piezoelectric crystals, piezoelectric ultrasonic generators produces the frequencies from 20 kHz to 50 kHz. 50 kHz. Whereas magnetostriction ultrasonic wave generators produces a frequency range from 20.4 kHz to 60 kHz. Here, this magnetostriction effect is non-linear. What are the applications of ultrasonics? There are numerous applications of ultrasonics. This ultrasonics has found numerous applications in industry and communication system. Mostly, these are used in the industry and communication systems. In ultrasonic stroboscope, use of ultrasonic stroboscope is to produce 100% modulation of the diffracted light. There is the example is ultrasonic stroboscope, where it can be used. When it is used means this ultrasonic stroboscope is used to produce 100% modulation of the diffracted light and to reduce the electrical losses due to the use of Kerr cells. And these are used for in communication also, used for sound signaling from ship to ship, to detect the position of the ship, to detect the depth of the sea, and the coagulating action of ultrasonics, separation of mixers, degassing of liquids. In all these cases, this ultrasonic generators can be used. Ultrasonics are also used for generating the thermal energy. Matching done in industrial process. Matching includes drilling, cutting, grinding, and fabricating. In industries, this ultrasonic generators are used for drilling, for cutting, for grinding, as well as for fabricating. Non-destructive testing and flaw detection. These ultrasonics are also used for non-destructive testing as well as flaw detection. This non-destructive texting NDT is used for detecting cracks in metals and concrete slabs. Right? See, this ultrasonic signals can be used for non-destructive texting. What is non-destructive texting? This texting is used for detecting the cracks in metals, as well as in the concrete slabs. After slab completion, concrete slab completion, this ultrasonic generators can be used. Is there any cracks in the slab? Is there any cracks in the slabs? As well as these are also this ultrasonic are also used for testing of cracks in the metals. As well as these are also used for flaw detection. Okay, now we'll see the pulsed echo ultrasonic flaw detector. What is flaw? Flaw is a mistake or some error. This ultrasonic generators are also used for flaw detection. Here we are going to discuss about the pulsed echo ultrasonic flaw detector. See, it is widely used to detect manufacturing flaws in materials and concrete slabs. It is also known as the reflection method of flaw detection. This method is nowadays this is the currently used method, and it is very sensitive. Echo pulse of energy as 1% of the transmitter energy is sufficient for recording an echo. That means the energy required for the echo pulse of energy is 1% of the transmitter energy is sufficient for recording an echo. Generally, this is based on the flaw detection is based on the principle of signal echoes, received echoes. See, this is the block diagram of an ultrasonic flaw detector. See, this is the CRT tube. It produces the signals. This is the workpiece. That means on which we are going to detect the flaws. The testing device, workpiece, signal pulse generator, and the echo signal amplifier. There is a master timer and the time-based amplifier. Time-based amplifier for the x-axis and y plates. It is echo signal amplifier. That means it has to master timer. There is a timer. See, pulse. This is the testing device job for testing, and this is the CRO to display the signals. Signal conditioner, transmitter come receiver. Here, and this ultrasonic itself acts as a transmitter as well as receiver. See, the transmitter is basically an ultrasonic generator. This transmitter and receiver, it is basically an ultrasonic generator. When a transmitter is properly excited, this transmitter produces the short train of ultrasonic pulses in the form of an energy pulse. That means here is a ultrasonic transmitter generator. Now it generates a sharp pulses of ultrasonic pulses in the form of an energy pulse. These vibrations, these signals are sent through the job which is under test for the flaw. This is the job. Here job is, what is the job? The device which is under the test. Here transmitter and receiver. Receiver is similar to transmitter and capable of receiving ultrasonic pulses. There is a transmitter and some receiver. And that means it itself acts as a transmitter and it also used as a receiver. So what is the receiver function? It receives the signals, ultrasonic pulses. Receiver is similar to transmitter and it is capable of receiving ultrasonic pulses. This transmitter also can be used as a receiver. It itself, the device itself can be used as a transmitter, ultrasonic, that means to generate the ultrasonic signals as well as to receive the ultrasonic signals. Vibrations are, when the vibrations are applied to the job, then the transmitter and receiver are moved gradually along the side. We receive two pulses besides the one transmitter. Generally, initially the transmitter transmits the pulses, that is one type of pulse, and after that we receive another pulse from the receiver. One pulse corresponding to the second surface and the other corresponding to the surface where the flaw occurs. The reflection of the pulse occurs whenever the medium changes due to change in impedance. Generally, the transmitter generates the ultrasonic pulses. These are transmitting. These pulses are transmitting through the device under test. The receiver receives the pulses. In general, there is from the foreign it is one, and it also there will be a reflection of the pulse occurs. The reflection of these pulses that the transmitter is transmitting the pulses. The reflection of the pulse occurs whenever the medium changes due to change in impedance. That means when suppose if there is a flaw, there is a crack. So at that time, due to the change of impedance, and there will be a reflection of pulse occurs. See, job with a manufacturing flaw at a distance d from one end. Suppose this is the transmitter cum receiver section. Transmitter and receiver section. This is the substance. There were no flaws. There were no manufacturing flaws. So it is receiving only two pulses. This is the transmitted pulse generated by the transmitter, and this is the received pulse received by the receiver. Right. In this case, there were no flaws. Suppose there is another device, another testing device. This transmitter is generated the ultrasonic pulse through the device. Right here, after the distance d, there is a crack. Suppose consider. That means the medium may change. Immediately there will be a reflected pulse to the receiver. It receives one pulse at distance d. And finally, after the foreign, there will be another reflection. That means if there were no flaws in the device, that is the display at the display only one transmitted pulse and one receiver pulse. If there is a flaw in that, there is a crack or something, the medium will be changed and there will be an additional reflected pulse. From the figure, it is clear that if there is no flaw in the job, the middle one would not appear. A job of length L having a flaw at distance d from the first end surface of the job. The pulses received by the receiver have been shown in same. Pulse 1 is the transmitted pulse. Pulse 2 is due to the reflection at distance d due to flaw, and it is received after time t. And the third pulse is due to the reflection at the end surface of the job after time t1. It means if there is no flaw, there is no errors, no cracks in the device. This is the transmitted pulse, and this is the received pulse from the far end. Right. If there is a flaw in the device, if the flaw distance is at distance t, that means in this is the transmitted one, and after time t2, the receiver received another pulse at time t2. This pulse is because of this flaw at distance d. At distance d. And this is the foreign pulse, foreign reflected pulse. The third pulse is due to the reflection at the end surface of the jaw. After the ending of the end surface, it receives another reflected. It reflects another pulse. The sizes of the pulses due to the flaw and second surface are smaller than those due to end surface. So you can observe that the size also, the amplitude is also different. Flaw can be located by the expression T2 by T1. It is distance d is the distance where the flaw detected, and L is the length of the job. V is the velocity of the pulse in the medium. It can be measured with a scale. T2 and T1 can be measured using CRO. D can be calculated. By calculating the T2 and T1 time durations, this we know the length of the device, length of the job, as well as at what time T2 is the time received reflected pulse from the flaw due to the flaw, and T1 is the pulse from the end surface. We can measure these two values. The signal pulses are displayed on the CRO. So only the unknown factor is D. What is D here? D is where the distance at flaw occurred. So we can calculate this D. Ultrasonic pulses use high frequencies of 0.8 to 2.5 megahertz for inspection of steel, aluminum, and brass articles. Low frequencies for inspection of cast iron, plastic boards, porcelain, concrete, and timber. At high frequencies, these are the materials we can use, and for low frequencies inspection, these iron, plastic boards, porcelain, concrete, and timber can be used. Drawback of the pulse echo flaw detector is there exists dead zone. The portion of the material close to front surface which cannot be inspected is called dead zone. What is dead zone means? What is the drawback of this flaw detector is if the flaw is nearby the starting front surface, it cannot detect those flaws. That is called the distance from front surface to the particular area is called dead zone. Within that dead zone, if there is a flaw, it cannot detect. That is the drawback of this pulse echo flaw detector. The dead zone extends up to 2 to 5 mm from the front surface. Flaws within the dead zone are not detectable. That is the drawback of this ultrasonic flaw detector. Pulsed echo flaw detector. The flaws can be recorded on electrically sensitive paper. In modern flaw detectors, digital logic circuits and digital displays are used for the accuracy. For the accurate measurements, nowadays digital logic circuits and digital displays are used. Okay, with this, the ultrasonic topic is over. Just I will recall what we discussed today. Ultrasonic is basically a sound which is not audible. It is used in the acoustics, and the frequency range of this ultrasonic waves are above the 20 kilohertz. Higher frequencies, about 5 to 10 kilohertz, can be produced. The wavelength of ultrasonics is the same order of visible light. These are not electromagnetic. Important source of energy with wide range of ultrasonics. Okay, let us have some small questions. The ultrasonics are electromagnetic waves, X-rays, sound waves, and D. Now, what is the answer? Ultrasonics are sound waves. Answer is sound waves. Next question. The ultrasonic frequencies are below 20 kilohertz. Option A below 20 kilohertz. Option B above 100 kilohertz. Option C above 20 kilohertz. Option D none. Ultrasonic frequency range is above the 20 kilohertz. production of ultrasonic waves basically depends upon with this basically depend upon time, frequency, energy, and wavelength. It is depending on the wavelength. Mechanical ultrasonic wave generators include tuning fork, Galton whistle, Boltzmann generator, and option D is the all the above. So mechanical ultrasonic wave generators are tuning fork and Galton whistle as well as Boltzmann. So the option is all the answer is all the above. Substances used for piezoelectric effect: quartz, aluminium, nickel, or chromium. So it is the answer is option A, quartz. Piezoelectric effect is option A, non-linear, B, conductive, C, linear, D, non-conductive. Option is piezoelectric effect is linear. So what are the questions we can expect from this topic is what is ultrasonic? Explain the term ultrasonic in short answers. And what are the characteristics of ultrasonics? It is also in short answers. List the applications of ultrasonics. Explain how ultrasonic vibrations are generated. And what is magnetostriction effect? What is piezoelectric effect? All we can expect. Mention the methods of generating ultrasonics. And in the long answers from this topic, you can expect explain within lead sketch the working of a pulsed echo ultrasonic flaw detector. Or else explain the process of pulsed echo ultrasonic flaw detection. Both are the question answer is same, but the question is in different way. So for this long questions, you can expect explain the ultrasonic flaw detector. In short answers, we can expect many questions. Okay, thank you. With this, thank you. I'm going to end my session. Thank you.